Hey guys, ever wondered how we keep our fingers safe while we're etching? Well, stick with me while I show you how to make a knife vise for safe holding so you don't have to hold the blade like I just did there. Please like, subscribe and comment, get involved. Tell me what DIY disasters you've had. As you can see, this knife vise is now safe to use. The knife is now safe. I can pull it towards me, push it away from me. Please join me as I show you how to make this simple knife vise from a broken microwave and the side of a TV stand. Alright guys, welcome to watching me make a mess of making myself a vise. We're doing a very complicated thing here of trying to find the widest part of the circle, which I was always taught, put a ruler across a circle. You'll notice a certain point at which either end comes closer together. That is the centre of your circle. That's where you can find the diameter. Once you have the diameter, you can find the radius, as I'm marking there, which I've measured from 3 other points, just confirming where it is. So I actually got the true centre. Let's go quickly whack a screw in here, because that's going to help me with marking the circle that I need to route out in order to get the wheels to fit in there properly and perform as I want them to. Now, I remember a long time ago seeing various people tie a bit of string to your pencil, tie a bit of string to your screw, measure the distance, make sure you're right, and then off you go and draw a circle. Unfortunately, if you do as I've done and tied the string very tightly to the screw, your string is going to wind itself around the screw, not turn around the screw. And so your circle's going to get smaller and smaller as you go around. Not only this, but also because I wound the string up the pencil, it's also going to wind itself around the pencil, thus getting even smaller. Who'd have thought a tiny little bit of string could defeat man? And as you can see here, I'm reaching for the scissors and trying to get this bit of string off here, and eventually the scissors are not needed. We achieve our aim. So I thought to myself, well, I have a woodworking ruler that's got a square cut out of it. If I can somehow keep the screw in one corner of the ruler, of the hole in the ruler, then, surely if I keep my pencil on one line of the ruler, we're going to be fabulous, because we'll be on the same line all the way round. It won't have moved from that corner. Look, see, it works when I do it really fast. So, this is going to work. This is the way forward. But somewhere in my brain, you can see I'm a bit hesitant, and I know this isn't the way forward. As you can see, something's in there's registering. It's not quite right. Like, comment, subscribe. We do respond to all comments. Get involved. Oh, what's that by your finger, idiot? It's the word pivot on the ruler and a little indent in the centre of the ruler so that you can pivot around a screw like this, marking a circle as I'm doing. Keep your grip even and onto the screw. Otherwise your circle won't be perfect, dummy. So anyway, once I got that done, now I'm doing the really complicated process of remarking the centre for some reason, I don't know why, and leaving myself 1.5 centimetres each side, basically, so I only have to do 3 cuts on the wood rather than doing 4. I only have to cut the bottom sides. This is the most dangerous tool in the world that I have ever used, the most scariest tool. It's a tiny little thing that fits in your hand and rotates at 13,000 RPM. It's called a router, and it is the most scariest thing that I have ever used in my life. And honestly, I did engineering apprenticeship when I was younger, and I've used some scary tools, and this is one of them. It's up there, one of the most scariest. Anyway, I've got my bit routed. And this is a bit of health and safety advice. Never go backwards with your router, because it will mess you up and do silly things to you. So here we are. We got the thing. That's the bit you just saw me working on. I've got all 4 bits, because this is the first time I've ever used a router. So, you have to have a practice first. There you go. Look, that's the bit we're going to use in the end. That fits perfectly. And you can see on the left there, some very dodgy routing indeed. Very, very dodgy routing. And we need to, I need to address that and have some more practice goes. But that looks kind of good. That was my original idea, was sandwich the wheels between 2 pieces of wood with 2 grooves cut in them, and it'll work. And then I realised through my dodgy routing, actually I can just put it on a flat surface, and I have made myself a lazy Susan. How fabulous. Which is great. I can now put a knife on it, but there's nothing there to grip the knife. So for immediacy, my idea is 2 pieces of wood, one at the bottom of the knife on the angle of the blade. So the blade is resting on that. I now have no worries about catching fingers on the blade and cutting myself that way. And then one, quite simply, gripping it from the top, pushing it onto the bottom piece. Actually pushing it tightly onto the bottom piece on an angle, on the angle of the blade, so it's actually a grip. And then I don't have to worry about sharp and pointy bits stabbing me as I lean over it. I don't have to hold the knife by the blade while I'm trying to scratch and etch. So less time to hurt myself. Anyway, thank you very much for enjoying. Hope you enjoyed that. Please like, subscribe, and enjoy.